guys, what is going on? This is Fantasy Tomorrow, and welcome for week 6 of our least favorite topic, injuries. As always, my name is Jaden, and this is our resident expert, Caleb. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to hang out with us every week. With that being said, let's go on ahead and just get right to it. So, Caleb, who was not active in week 5 that could be returning soon?
Well, one receiver I think is probably going to play in week 6 and didn't play last week and the week before is Davante Adams, wide receiver for Green Bay. Now, he's had a hamstring injury, but last week he had a bye week, which means he had some extra time to get healthy. And I think he has a good shot at playing this upcoming week. Another wide receiver that you want to keep an eye on is Chris Godwin with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, he too had a hamstring injury. He missed the Thursday night game last week, but he could play this week as long as he's able to log some practices, so you want to watch out for that. Also, Julio Jones, wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, he's got another hamstring injury. Very popular among wide receivers this year. So he wasn't able to practice at all last week. He's going to have to need to practice this week in order to be able to have any shot at playing. Now, a couple of interesting players that we really need to keep an eye on are Cam Newton and Corey Davis. Now, Cam Newton, he's the quarterback for the New England Patriots, but he's on the COVID list. He tested positive for COVID. At the point or when the game against the Broncos happens this week for the Patriots, it'll have been about 2 weeks since Cam Newton tested positive for the coronavirus. So there's a chance that he's healed up, he's not sick anymore, and that he'll be able to play, but he's going to have to test negative twice in order for that to happen. So you'll definitely have to pay attention to see whether he tests negative or not and see whether he can be trusted in your lineups. Now with Corey Davis, it's kind of the same thing. He's going to need to test negative twice for COVID. And who knows, I think he's tested positive a little bit after Newton did, so he might take a little bit more time, but there's just so many unanswered questions when it comes to COVID. We really just have to pay attention to those test results, see what happens with those players. And then the final player that has a chance of coming back this week after missing some time is Noah Fant. Now, he finally might be able to return after missing a few weeks, but he's going to have to practice this week just like anyone else to have any chance of returning, so definitely keep an eye on those practice reports.
It's good that they're returning soon, though. Who got injured during week 5 that we should watch carefully?
So one player specifically that has a good chance at returning this week is Deontay Johnson. Now, he got hurt in week 5. He took a hit to his back that pulled him out of the game. It's the second time this year that that's happened where he's had to leave the game early. But his coach, Mike Tomlin, said that he has a good chance of playing in week 6. So you can feel confident about starting Deontay Johnson this week. Dalvin Cook, now he has a groin injury, which is never good. He had an MRI on it. It seems like it went okay. It's not that serious. And it seems like as long as he practices this week, he should be good to go as well. So Cook is looking up as well. Now, DJ Shark, wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars, he has an ankle injury. And it's going to completely depend on how severe that injury is as to how long he's going to be out. It's hard to say. We know that Michael Thomas, he's had an ankle injury, and he's been held out, for 4 or 5 weeks at this point. So definitely could be something more severe, or he could play this week. But if he doesn't, definitely want to give Laviska Shenault a look, who could see an increase in production while DJ Shark is injured. Now, AJ Green is another wide receiver who got hurt. He has a hamstring injury. He'll have to practice to have any shot at playing, but you probably don't want to start AJ Green in your lineups. He's been very non-productive this year. In fact, you could probably drop AJ Green at this point and get away with it, so not good for AJ Green. Also, Baker Mayfield, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He took a shot to his ribs. He had to have them x-rayed. But it seems like he's good to go, and he's going to play through whatever pain he might have. He seems like he said that he's not some wuss and that he's going to play through it, even if it is painful. So definitely can give Baker Mayfield a look this week as well. And now the final player is Keenan Allen. Now, he hurt his back, was pulled from the game on Monday night against the Saints, and whether he misses time, it's going to depend on the severity of the injury. So definitely need to pay attention to his practice reports with the Chargers, see if he has any shot of playing this week.
And now, who got injured during week 5 that is probably going to miss a significant amount of time?
So the worst one, probably the most common one that you've heard about already, is quarterback Dak Prescott for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he had a terrible ankle injury. It was very gruesome to watch live. It was a compound fracture that he had to have surgery on. And they've said that the surgery was successful, which is good news for Prescott, but he's going to have a 4 to 6 month recovery time. So obviously that means that Prescott is done for this season. Hopefully he's fine for next season. Everything will come back okay. Things will be better in the future for Prescott. But moving over to the area of your fantasy team, if you were starting Prescott, which if you owned him, you likely were, you're going to need to figure out a way to replace him. And some options to consider to replace him. One is Gardner Minshew. He's been a very consistent option, good quarterback streamer. He's someone that you could definitely give a look if you are missing Prescott now. Or also Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's someone who's been scoring plenty of fantasy points at the quarterback position. And I think you could also get away with picking up Prescott's backup, Andy Dalton. I think Dalton is going to be put in a position to succeed in Dallas. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot, or having to throw the ball quite a bit to catch up in games. Their defense is really bad. And there's just so many good offensive weapons in Dallas that I think is going to make Dalton's job very easy. And we've seen Andy Dalton produce in the NFL before with the Bengals. I think he's going to be fine in Dallas as a replacement if you're really desperate and you need someone to fill in. And another person that got hurt, not nearly as severe as Prescott's injury, but is going to miss a couple of weeks, is Sammy Watkins, wide receiver for the Chiefs. He hurt his hamstring. Initial evaluation puts him at missing 2 to 3 weeks. So if you had Watkins, definitely will have to find someone to fill in for him. And in his absence, McCole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson could both see an increase in usage. And another player to keep an eye on in really deep leagues is Byron Pringle. Now, he's actually the receiver that the Chiefs like as a backup to Sammy Watkins. He kind of plays the same role as Sammy Watkins in that offense. So definitely keep an eye on him in deeper leagues as well.
Yeah, Dak Prescott was definitely devastating. Not only to watch, but just to see how he and his team reacted and stuff. It was not good, but
yeah.
There you guys have it. Yeah, it really is. There you guys have it. That is week 5. Well, going into week 6, injuries, who to look for, who to probably take off your roster. Injuries are devastating, but it happens all the time. It's just one of those things you got to suck it up and deal with. Doesn't make it any easier, though. With that being said, as always, my name is Jaden, and this is Caleb. I'm going to throw a little recap up for you guys. And we are Fantasy Tomorrow, where we're giving you the information to learn today and win tomorrow. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, we will see you guys next week. Bye.